Okay, Chem, today we're going to learn about the diatomic elements. So di means two, atomic, so atoms, element. So this means this is elements that don't come by themselves. They always come in pairs. We're going to nickname them our high 7 elements. And the reason we're going to do that is because it is high for hydrogen and a 7 over here on the periodic table of the elements. So conveniently, there's 7 of them, and they make a 7 over here. So let's just outline that so we can see our 7. Like such. So let's just list our 7 diatomic elements. So hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So when they're in their elemental state, they always come in pairs. They are diatomically bonded to each other. That means that 2 of them are bonded together covalently, non-polar covalently. So sometimes you'll hear them listed as Brinkelhoff. I can never remember how to spell that, so I typically don't do Brinkelhoff. I stick with my high 7 so that I remember that it's hydrogen and a 7 over on the periodic table of the elements. I'm going to real quick draw a structure for you. So hydrogen has 1 electron. In order to have a full shell, hydrogen can only carry 2. So it shares 1 covalent bond together. And don't worry if you don't understand this bonding part, that we will learn that in greater detail later. Nitrogen has 5 valence electrons. In order to get the 8 that it wants, it needs to share 3 more, like this. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. In order to get the 8, it has to share 2, like such. And it has a double bond in between it. Fluorine has 7, only needs 1 more to be happy. Same thing with chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Each of them have 7 valence electrons, and they will share 1 covalent bond, a single bond in between them, like such. And each of them is going to have 7 lone pair electrons. 6 lone pair electrons also. So sharing 1 pair for a single bonding pair. And because the elements are identical to each other, and each bromine has the same electronegativity, it is a nonpolar covalent bond. Nitrogen has this triple bond, which is loaded with energy. So that is why nitrogen bond is so stable, but if you can manage to break them apart, it contains a lot of energy. So there's our diatomic elements for you. Again, don't worry about the bonding piece to it yet. I just wanted to add that on there. You should have learned the basics of it first year, but I don't expect that much of that stuck. So here is our 7 diatomic elements. Sometimes they're also called Janine molecules, meaning that any of the elements that end in GEN or INE are diatomic elements. So there's a couple different ways for you to remember them. High 7 is easiest for me, Janine or Brinkelhoff. So that's our lesson on diatomic